Hi everybody, and welcome to this Friday's tutorial where I will be drawing a water well. And this was a quick graphite sketch I did, and for the tutorial I will be using a black color pencil because it's more clear for you to see. But you can make this in charcoal, in graphite, or with black color pencil, of course. Now on my Patreon page I do an explanation tutorial. Now I will be explaining to you more precisely how this water well is set up using the perspective lines. So if you would like to support me there, you're very welcome indeed. And as I was saying, for this sketch I will be using a black color pencil. It's less shiny than graphite, and I want to show you how I work this out. Now I've drawn in that horizon line very lightly, and what I do first is I draw the construction of all that wood that is holding up the roof. And that roof is there because you can dangle a bucket from it. So even though it's not much of a construction, I needed to be correct to make a convincing wishing well, water well. Well, you can call it a wishing well, of course. That's just okay. But as I was saying, I need that construction to be correct, and that the wooden beams are keeping up the roof. And here you can see those bigger beams, and this is the mid beam that is for dangling the bucket from. And I'm keeping a close eye on my disappearing point on the right side. But I'm not measuring everything out. I want to make it a freehand drawing, if you like, as I would be drawing when I was sitting in the field. And here is that wheel, and that wheel is very important for your drawing because your viewers will instantly know that you are drawing a water well here. And once you have the main lines standing for the construction of that water well, then you can start drawing in the shadows. Now the light is coming from the right top, and of course on the inside of the roof there will be a lot of shadow. So I draw that in very quickly to get that idea of what is light and what is dark. Now these are two very important pieces too. Those are the woods that keep that big pole in place. And here you can just see the side of the tiles that are on the left side of the roof. And these are the little wooden pieces that keep up that roof, of course. And all the tiles are going in the same direction towards that disappearing point on the right. And here are the top tiles, very important too, and some nails are inside of those holders. That's a nice, you can put in as much detail as you want, but as I was saying, this is just a quick sketch. But I do keep in mind where the light is coming from. So this will be a little bit darker. This is on the shadowy side. And here I make sure that the construction is very visible. It's kind of a cross, and I like that, so that's why I've chosen also this kind. There are many sorts of water wells, and it's just nice to study them, and maybe you can watch them on Google Images and see what kind of water well you would prefer. But I just like this plain simple one, very recognizable and very much fun to draw, of course. Now the stone part of the water well is rounded, and it's kind of tricky to make it appear rounded, but I will work that out later. I put in a lot of shadow here on underneath the tiles, and this is my wooden construction popping out, and I need a little bit more shadow on that wheel, of course, and it has to be very prominent in this drawing. I always build up my darker parts slowly. You can always go darker, and going lighter is a little bit more difficult. Well, you can erase, of course. And then it's time to give your water well a place on the paper. So what I do is around that horizon line I will make some slopey hills. So I do not want it to be all that straight. I am making it a little bit slopey, and in the far way back I'm drawing in some contours of trees. Now I do not want any detail in that. The farther away the trees are, the lighter they become of color in this case. And here I'm drawing in very simple contours of some pine tree, for instance. But it's also very nice to put in a tree that is nearer to us. Now once trees are nearer, they become quite higher, of course. You cannot see the top anymore in this case. So I'm just put in a little more detail on that tree trunk, and some tiny twigs that are coming out. And I also keep in mind that my light source is coming from the right top. So the left side of the tree is darker than the right side. So also that tree has a shadow side. What's also very nice is that the top twigs of that tree are all pointing in the direction of that water well. Also is the shadow that is casted on the ground that is also going towards the water well. So my landscape that I draw around this water well gets the attention all towards that water well. For instance, the contour line of the trees on the back here on the right go from high up to lower towards the water well. To get even more attention towards the water well, I draw in some natural tiles that are like a path, also going towards that water well. And this is just also so much fun to do, and as you can see, the tiles are small in the distance and then become bigger as they go towards the water well, and in that way also this works good for my composition and for getting the attention towards the well. Here I put in some little bit of shadow too, and also for those trees there in the back. And as you can see, partially I didn't color that in at all, and it works just fine. Maybe it's a little bit of fog or something. I just leave it there. It's just a very quick sketch and so lovely to do. It's well, easily done, and it's freehand and from imagination. So I just love to do this. Now that I have my background in well, some kind of gray tones, then it's important to go back to that well again. So now I can put in some more gradation of gray and go in even darker. So this is the point where I put in the last detail for my subject of this drawing, which is the well, of course. And the darkest parts will be in the subject. I've put a little stone in front of the water well, just a small detail. I even put in some more black in that rooftop. And what is also very nice is to take a sharp knife and your pencil that you're drawing with, make a little bit of powder, and then take a sponge or a pastel knife and draw in some sky. Now, of course, you can do this with the pencil, but this works very quickly, and you instantly get a great contrast between what is drawn with the pencil and what is blurred out with the sponge. So a very nice effect. And then you can take your pencil eraser to draw back some light into that tree. So far my sketch. I hope you will give it a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe, of course. And also maybe you can check my Patreon page and support me there. That would be awesome. Well, I will see you again next week. I wish you all the luck on your drawings. Take care. Bye bye.